Here we're going to tie the SBS Smallmouth bass streamer. First thing we're going to do is just get our thread started near the eye of the hook. Then we're going to tie in a pair of large pseudo eyes right at the front. We're just going to get these on there nice and secure. I do that by just kind of X-wrapping around those eyes. And once we've got those eyes secure, we're going to take our thread all the way back to the bend here. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in the tail. And for the tail we're going to use some Chartreuse extra select craft fur. I'm going to strip out kind of all the under fur. We want our tail on this fly to be fairly long. I want it to be about 3 times the length of the shank of the hook. There we go. Once we've got that tied in, we're going to tie in a piece of white extra select craft fur as well. We want it to be the same length. There we go. Now we're going to tie in a little bit of flash. For that I'm going to use 5 or 6 strands of silver crystal flash. We're just going to tie this in nice and long on one side of the hook, and I just double it over and pull it to the other side of the hook. And I usually trim it just a little longer than the tail. Now the next thing to do is to tie in a piece of pearl UV polar chenille. We're just going to take this polar chenille, and with each wrap I'm just going to take the material and pull it back. Once I have a little body built up there, I'm just going to capture it. And I can trim out the excess. And I'll just wrap back up onto this just slightly, just to kind of help it all lay back nice. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get some Senyo's laser dub, and the first color I'm going to use here is going to be some fluorescent chartreuse. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pluck a piece out of the package that's about 2.5–3 inches long, and I'm just going to kind of rub it together slightly. I want to kind of align all these fibers so that they taper gently on each side. Just like so. You can see how it tapers on each side. And I'm going to tie this in right in the middle of the laser dub. Just like so. And I'll just leave one portion kind of hanging off the front. Now we're going to do the same exact thing at the on the top of the fly with some white. I'll just kind of align all these fibers, gently taper it. I'll tie it right on top. Then once we've done that, I'm just going to gently pull each of the clumps back. I'll lay down a couple of wraps right in front of it. Then I'll gently pull out some of these longer fibers. Do that just by pinching. There we go. Now I'm going to take my thread and I'm going to jump to just in front of these pseudo eyes. Now I'm going to repeat the same process. There we go. Now what we're going to do before we finish, I'm just going to whip finish. Now what I'm going to do is just take a tiny bit of brush on super glue. I'm going to add it to the top and bottom. Then I'm going to take this laser dub, pull it all back, just kind of pinch it there briefly with my fingers. Take the fly off the vise, and I'm going to work the material through the hook. Now the last thing to do is to brush it. All we're trying to do is just work the material together, get it to be one cohesive mass. I'll try to kind of brush it down to each side as well. Also gets out any of the loose and long fibers. There we go. That is the SBS Smallmouth Bass Streamer, and you can find all the materials for this fly at inthe.riffle.com.